A lot of people would say that Christ was actually crucified on an X, in the same way that we see a traditional letter as an X on a piece of paper where both legs will touch the line. I just think there's something behind this X thing. You know, the eclipses that we had made an X across America, and it went through biblical names of towns and jurisdictions that can be mapped out to the Bible. Twitter became X. ISO compliant 20022 coins, XRP, XLM, XDC. There are others. And Elon's talking about launching, implementing crypto, whether it be Dogecoin or XRP. Now, there's been some talk about Nasara, and I've read over kind of what that means, and it's basically like a flat sales tax on new items. Abolishes the IRS. It's very constitutional. I do think something like that's coming. I don't think it's going to be called Nasara, but I liken it more to what we would see in the Bible as a jubilee. You can go look into what that is and how that worked. It's all through the Old Testament. There's plenty of videos on it on Rumble. I see it as, whether we're in end times or not, it is quantifiably undeniable if you look around through the correct discernible lens that God has taken an individual special interest in raising up a king and pushing back against the evil. Donald J. Trump, Robert Kennedy. I will say, as will others, that 80% of the moves have been happening behind the scenes. Liquidation of an abolishment of the Federal Reserve Cartel, IRS, this Organic Act of 1871, this Babylonian beast system that had its tentacles wrapped around corporations and Congress and woven into the fabric of our economy and how everything functions and works, which should be no surprise because, you know, Lucifer usurped God's original kingdom idea and implemented by veneering his own artificial tyrannical system in its place that we have to function through. You know, we're in the world, not of it, right? As God's elect, as his children. This is where we get things like the Sesta QV Trust that was born out of the Papal Bull, Admiralty Maritime Law, this centralized banking scheme, this pyramid scheme, this fiat monopoly nightmare. And we're also used to being in debt. It's this iron yoke that has been placed around our necks. And we're born into it, and we're told it's normal. It's not just with loans and taxation, it's fees and insurance. You can't escape it. Everything is about money. Holidays, these pagan holidays that have been sold to us as celebrations for our God is actually paying homage to their gods. Abortion is supposed to be it's peddled out as a right when it's really paying homage to Molech and Baal. My point is, we're headed into good times. God is raising up a remnant. He's pushing back against the evil. Their demise is at hand. Be on the right side. Real money is silver and gold, precious metals, copper. The silver and gold is mine, saith the Lord. You know, when I talk about XRP and XLM and XDC and people get scared, I understand all that. If I were to compare the technological sophistication, and there's too much I don't know because it's all behind lock and key and wrapped up behind NDAs where people can't talk too much about it. But if you were to try to compare, from my understanding, Bitcoin as a technology compared to XRP or XLM and XDC, it'd be like comparing a 1980s Macintosh to a sophisticated quantum computer in a black op operation allocated exclusively for the military. A technology that looks like magic. It's not magic, it's just quantum computing. If I were to take an electron from an atom and cut it in half, I could put one in the North Pole and one in the South Pole. Not that I believe in the South Pole, but that's another rant. And they would communicate with one another. If I managed to load information into one of those into one of those electrons, or a piece of one of those electrons, it could theoretically teleport or transport through time and space quantumly that bit of information to the other half of that electron on the other side of the earth. It's not magic. It's not a miracle. It's quantum. I mean, it's a miracle in the sense of God's creation is miraculous. Yes, that is a miracle. That is miraculous. God is divine. He is awesome. He is great. He is holy. He is righteous. So, get on the right side of this thing. Don't operate through fear. Put your faith in God. And for the love of God, go down and get you some damn XRP and XLM. You know, in 2011, I remember I was in my room at this apartment over here, and I was like, I need to go ahead and sit down. And I didn't know anything about crypto, but I told myself I was going to sit down and just buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Had I had a little more life experience and been a little bit more mature and didn't live life flying by the seat of my pants so much at that time, I would have gone ahead and done that. I had the money, but I didn't. And I don't see Bitcoin making it into this new system. The only coins I see making it in crypto-wise into this new system. And keep in mind, XRP is not a crypto. It is an asset. It is a technology. But that's another story too. It's all going to be all ISO 20022 compliant coins are going to be in this new financial paradigm. You can tokenize anything. You can tokenize homes, cars, all commodities, to where you literally just pull up an app on your phone and boop, you just sold your home. Or boop, you just bought someone else's home. No middlemen, no fees, no regulations, no paperwork. The deed's wrapped up in that token. Did you know that 97% of every transaction in this country is already digital through debit cards and credit cards? Did you know that you're already in a digital system? I never purchased Bitcoin. Bitcoin's around 98,000 a Bitcoin. I could have purchased $50 worth of Bitcoin back in 2011, and I'd be a multi-millionaire right now. It's not all about money, but it is about providence and provision. It is about listening and beckoning the call. And I say it out of love, and I say it out of what I believe to be providentially aligned gifts from God to me to prepare me and to take care of me through His acts of mercy and love, where He's aligned me with precious metals and different cryptocurrencies. It may be a 2-year wait, it may be a 20-year wait, I don't know. But I'll blow the trumpet one more time here. If you have $50 laying around, go buy $50 of XLM, Stellar XLM, and $50 worth of some Ripple XRP. I recommend Uphold. Take a picture of your ID, tie in a debit card, purchase it off the exchange, go buy you a cold wallet storage like a SafePal or an ElliePal. It's not that hard. It might take you a little time. You can allocate 2 weeks to a month to go ahead and set all that up. But if you get it off the exchange and hold it on Uphold, temporarily it'll be there waiting for you, so you can move it off the exchange or off Uphold into your own cold storage wallet and forget about it. I'm talking $100, $50 worth of XRP, $50 worth of XLM, and if you're feeling really creative, go buy you $50 worth of XDC too while you're at it. I don't care what that is. XRP went from 50 cents to $1.50. It may surge. Its all-time high was $3.24 or something like that. We're moving into a time where it's just going to continue to move up. There may be great dips in it. I hope there is another dip so I can get more. XLM was 11-12 cents. It's now 45 cents. If I sold today, my profits would be ridiculous. I'm not selling anything. Just telling you. You do this, you hold it when you see $30. You hold it $300. You hold it $500 and $700, and you wait until your XRP is 10K plus a token. While everyone else is celebrating and selling, you hold. And I understand people's fear and all that stuff, and I'm not mocking you, and I get it. But I do believe I've been providentially aligned with a blessing. And when this thing rolls out, people will utilize it and feel comfortable with it the same way they became comfortable with digital TV and the internet and computers on tiny little devices we call phones. It won't be looked at as evil. Be blessed.
I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody. To the nation's 50 million crypto holders, I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
I'm seeing this whole course, I'm seeing God doing it right now, where it's this source of energy is very important for people who are listening all over the world. And I had 2 clues, which I'm going to give you one today. Okay? I'm going to give you one clue now, which I haven't spoken of yet. You ready, Mr. Codebreaker?
Oh, here it is.
Because I'm the code maker. And then the other one is the tree, the oak tree, which is a symbol which people have been researching, not yet revealed. But people are researching out there because it's a puzzle. God won't give us everything because it's not the right time. But something starting with an X and it has a P in it is a very profound something that's going to be worth investing in. And I can't say the whole thing because I don't know it. But I had a dream and I saw an X and I think there may have been a number and there's something else and then P. Now, I'm only giving you what I prophetically hear. Otherwise, I could be accused of representing a company, which of course they could take me to court on that, but I'm not going to, that's what I'm hearing. And most people know I hear things by the Holy Spirit and I just say it. And so it's a prophetic thing, this. But it's also giving signs to the people that it's the time.
Yes.
For the release of this new source of energy.
He said, you asked me and asked me and asked me about investments. And he said, I'm going to tell you something that will increase like Apple one day. That will be a major investment in the end times. And he said, XRP will go from where it's at right now to $10,000 one day. It will be worth over $10,000 per XRP. And when he said that to me, I didn't even know what XRP was. And I was like, what is XRP? So I had to Google it. And I found out it was a cryptocurrency. But I'm telling you, it's going to come through certain cryptos. And it's going to come, that's what I hear. And maybe it'll be through something for you for something else, okay? But I'm telling you, I keep seeing XRP. And like I said, I'm not telling you to invest in it. That's on you. Do not say, hey, you told me to invest in it. No, I'm telling you, there's going to be something in my spirit, in my opinion, with XRP in the near future.
I think Ripple will be number one. It'll be bigger than Bitcoin. It'll be number one.
Okay.
I've got no doubt in my mind about that. People don't seem to understand if the banks use Ripple, the high net worth clients are going to use Ripple, the retail banks are going to use, the retail people are going to use Ripple, the fund managers are going to use Ripple, the money managers, foreign currency providers. Ripple will be number one.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Bitcoin is old technology. It's 2008 technology. It can only process 7 transactions if you're lucky, within a couple of minutes or so, if you're lucky. That's when things are going well. When they've got the miner issue, God help us. They bang on about Ripple being centralized. The technology is not centralized. The company is. But you know what? I've got news for them. So what if it is centralized? It's not. It's not, though, because it is decentralized technology, exactly. Distributed ledger, and open source. Bitcoin is centralized because you've only got 4 major miners that control that. And when that was happening, Bitcoin prices went to $50. You go and buy a coffee for $3, and it's going to cost you $50 to get a Bitcoin processed by the miners who validate it. Exactly. And the thing is, you're lucky if it's going to be processed in 48 hours to 60 hours.
Exactly.
But it's still not viable. It's old technology. It's just that it's really well known and it's a poster child. Ethereum's got the same issue. They use the same miners.
Exactly.
Ethereum's got a lot of problems at the moment. Heaps of problems.
When the patents are lifted, and in the future we realize that technologies have been held from us because they want to keep us on a slave plantation, and we see what these tokenized assets can actually do and the convenience, The open source clarity of it all, the decentralized implication of it being unregulated, and an even playing field like Donald J. Trump keeps going on about, de-rigging the rig system. I don't just preach on cryptos. I'm a huge proponent of precious metals. It's just precious metals are very expensive. The majority of my assets are in silver. But we can't all afford to go down and buy 1,000 ounces of silver. It's a lot of money. This is a shoo-in for people that don't have money. You know, when the dust settles and people realize it's not the mark of the beast and it's not evil and we've been held back, technologically speaking, so these overseers can rule and regulate and meter everything, it'll be too late. For those of us that can't afford copious amounts of very expensive precious metals, this is a shoo-in, you know. I'm just talking about what I believe God has gone out of his way to align me with, and I'm just trying to spread that message. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be talking about it. You know, you do you, boo. You do you. You know, the same way Christ's disciples witnessed Christ walking on water, healing the lame, opening the eyes of the blind, raising the dead. They got to a place where even in death, they were cut in half, they were beheaded, they were filleted. Even in death, they couldn't deny the glory and the victory of Jesus. They were blown away. They could not deny or reject that level of glory and sophistication, that level of providence, of kingdom alignment, of perfection. There is no denying that once you've seen it. There simply isn't. The enemy may be able to cause you to stumble as a Christian, but he can never uncircumcise your circumcised heart once you've been reborn, once you've been baptized by fire. In that same way, the enemy brings sophistication. We've all been taught that economics, financial stability is super complicated. There's a lot of small print. Only scholars and people that hold PhDs can understand the sophistication of how markets work. Yeah, rigged markets, highly rigged markets, complex systems that you regulate and you control. You're at the top of the heap while we function as serfs down here at the bottom who are metered. The way to overthrow this Babylonian system is to implement something so sophisticated and so profound, and you roll it out to where it's literally open source and peer reviewed, decentralized, and let the people get a taste of how that works. It's so quantumly entangled in perfect fire stops that are basic reflections of how nature works, to where it can't be hacked, it can't be programmed, it can't hold malware, it can't be used as a weapon against the people, because it within itself is bootstrapped to a technology that only works one way. It's bootstrapped to God's creation, so it only works one way. It's an even playing field. It is open source. It blows the minds of the people. That way, when the next demon comes along and he gets on his soapbox And he starts talking about, what we can do with this technology is we can start creating all these little Marxist implementations and start centralizing it to where he's pulled off his damn soapbox and he's tarred and feathered, because no one's going to ever want to go back to that old system. That's how this is going to be rolled out. It's just a hammer of liberation. Dropping the damn hammer of freedom and liberation.